All right, guys. Just wanted to come on here today, and I think, as you can see, we're going to be talking about just the kind of things that's going to take for you or anyone to become a profitable trader. Okay. So I'm going to preface this by saying that, if you can't sit here and watch the 15, probably even 10 minutes that I'm going to be talking about, these small little steps that you can easily write down and take notes on, then you really shouldn't expect to make it in trading, just because of the fact that, trading is really hard to get good at. It's, you need to be really consistent, as you're going to hear in this. And if you can't focus on a 15-minute video, then it's pretty evident you're not going to be able to focus for months, even years, at becoming a good trader. Okay? So, to start, just like the most basic beginnings that every trader goes through is they're going to find an edge. They're going to find their strategy, okay? So the first kind of breakdown point to your edge, your strategy, is your concepts. So I use ICT concepts. There's a lot of other concepts. It doesn't really matter what you use. If you have something that's like statistically proven, then the only thing left up between you and becoming a profitable trader is going to be your psychology. The concepts don't matter as long as your strategy is profitable, proven profitable, and works. All right. And then coming into the second point, you have your model and strategy. So find a model that works for you and is easy to understand and easy to consistently execute it. So you can't, there's going to be some models that are like just really weird to see, really weird to find. You don't understand it. Like you're just struggling to identify it on the charts, to back test it, all of that. You don't want that. You want something that you can understand and that is easy to consistently execute. If you can't consistently execute it without fucking up, then your strategy is it's going to hinder your progress a lot. So you want something that's simple and easy to understand, and you can execute it whenever it presents itself. And third, back testing. You're going to have to do a shit ton of it. I did a ton. I still do a ton. The reason for this is you have to refine your edge, right? So you have to refine your strategy. And the only way to do that is in the live markets or back testing. And the live markets, to refine your edge and get the data needed to see how profitable your edge is, it's going to take a long time in the live markets to really get that data you need. So back testing, it gets it done so much faster. You could get all the data you need for your strategy in like a week of back testing. You back test a few years of data and you're good. You'll understand if your model is like profitable or not. Then comes one of the biggest parts, mastering psychology, right? So first point, you can't have any emotions involved in your trading. You can't seek to make losses back or win even more, etc. Right? So if you're trading emotionally, it's like a train off the rails, bro. You're gone. Like you need to remove emotions from your trading. And like I set up here, you need to find a model that's easy and consistent to execute. That means if you're removing emotions from your trading, your model should be consistently executed and you should be able to actually show profitable results because you're consistently executing the same model. Emotions aren't involved, so there shouldn't be any problems, right? And patience is the key. A lot of models aren't going to present themselves all the time. Sometimes you can go a day without seeing your model. That happens to me. So you need to have patience in the markets. You can't force setups. You can't convince yourself that, oh, this is a great setup. That is an actual problem that a lot of people have. And I used to struggle with that, is you'll go into the markets, you'll be reading it, and you kind of get impatient. And then your mind starts tricking you into thinking, this is actually good. I should be taking this, when it's not. And if you look in hindsight after taking that loss, you're going to realize, oh, wow, okay, I convinced myself this actually wasn't that good of a setup. So no forcing setups. You know your model and you wait for it to present itself. So you know your model, you back tested it. Wait for it to present itself properly. And the third is no outcome-based thinking. A lot of people struggle with this. I personally didn't, just because when I came into trading, I knew this was a problem, and I really focused my mind on not having outcome-based thinking. And what this means is, like, you can't be trading with the outcome in mind. The outcome a lot of traders have is making a ton of money, moving somewhere, just achieving their goals, but it's really large goals, and you can't trade with that outcome sitting in your mind or thinking about it, right? Like, that is only going to make you trade for the sole reason of making money, passing an account, buying a car, whatever. You cannot trade with the outcome in mind, because it will make you make bad decisions. Like I said, it's going to make you impatient. It's going to make you emotional. Like, if you're trying to make a lot of money, you're and you take a loss on the day, if your outcome, like if you're thinking based on the outcome, you're going to try and make that money back. You're going to start emotionally trading. You're going to seek to make more money, and it's not going to work. You are going to fuck up. You're going to blow your account. You're going to do everything wrong. So you can't think of the outcome. What I used to do is, like, I would just desensitize and convince myself. Like, I would desensitize myself from the desire for money. Like, yes, bro, I want to be rich, obviously, but you can't trade with that in your mind. So what I do is just consistently tell yourself, I don't care about the money in trading. I know it will come. All I have to do is stay consistent while I am trading, and it will come. All right. So the rest below is also tied into psychology, because trading is 20/80 in terms of your, like, strategy model and your psychology. It honestly could be more. It could be like 90/10, psychology and model. It could be 95/10. But psychology is the biggest part of trading for sure. So, removing expectations. Expectations are a massive thing in trading too. It's kind of it's outcome-based thinking, but in a much broader sense. So you can't go into the markets with the intention, like I said earlier, just to make a lot of money. Only goal in trading should be sticking to your model consistently and being as disciplined as possible. You can't go into the markets and, like, just desire to make a ton of money, bro. Like I said earlier, your only intention coming in the markets, and fry this in your brain while you're learning if you're not profitable yet, as early as you can, fry this in your brain, is go into the market with no intentions of making money. Your only intention is to be consistent, be disciplined, and only take your model on a consistent basis, okay? You also can't expect the outcomes of trades. This is something I tell myself all the time when I'm coming into the market, is you can't expect to win, you can't expect to lose, you can't expect to make or lose money, and you do not and never will know the outcome of the trade, or will it will reverse or whatever. A lot of people expect that, they get an A plus setup and they take it, like, ends up losing, and they're like, why did this trade lose? It shouldn't have lost. Dude, it's trading. It is probability. Even if it's an A plus setup, it can fail, and it will. You can't let that affect you. If you let expectations get into your trading and you take a loss expecting to win, you're going to go down an emotional spiral, and it's going to fuck you over. You cannot expect anything in trading. If anything, expect for emotions to come up and anticipate them, and then remove them, like, anticipate the emotions and cut them off as soon as they present themselves. You can't even expect to take a trade. Being patient also means that you will have days where you won't trade, or where it isn't optimal to be trading, right? Like, bad conditions. There's been a lot of that recently. These are the times where you need to learn to remove any expectations of trading every day, and instead instill expectations in yourself of consistency and discipline in your trading. All right? So you can't expect, like, going into the markets, you can't expect to take a trade. If you need to, like I do every day, write down, I do not expect to take a trade today. You need to go into the markets only viewing the markets and waiting for your setup to present itself. You can't expect to take a trade, because then, like I said earlier, you're going to force your mind, subconsciously is going to force ideas onto the market, and you're going to start thinking a setup is good when in reality it isn't. All right. The next and last thing is you need to change your beliefs. This is a big thing in trading in the zone, which I have right here. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, great book. You need to add positive beliefs and remove negative beliefs. And what this means, explained in Trading in the Zone, he even said himself, the author Mark Douglas, you can't necessarily like delete a bad belief or whatever, but you can transfer the energy. So what I want you to do is like imagine you have a good belief of trading consistently and you have a bad belief that you're an unprofitable trader. You need to reinforce the good belief with experiences that are going to reinforce it, right? So if you're behaving in a way that demonstrates that you're a disciplined trader, you're adding to that positive belief and removing energy from that negative belief and taking it over to the positive belief. So I hope you understand that. That's kind of what this segment is going to be about. So the first thing is, add beliefs in your consistency and discipline as a trader, like I just said. Ability to, you need to have the ability to execute on your model only on a consistent basis, right? So what that means is you need to do things that are going to make you believe you're a consistent and disciplined trader. So like I just said, only execute on your model. Don't let emotions take over. Like don't overtrade, don't emotionally trade, don't blow your accounts, don't full port, like that sort of stuff. You need to reinforce your belief that you're a consistent trader. That way you can actually become one. Because if you don't believe something, it's not gonna it's not gonna happen. There's this one saying, it was like, let me think for a second. So yeah, so it's like confidence is a belief, right? So if you're confident in yourself, then you believe whatever you're confident about, right? So like for example, there could be like a really smart person who knows like a lot of things, right? Like he let's take this in business for example. There's a really smart person who knows the ups and downs, everything of business, but they're not confident enough to actually start their business. Like they don't believe that they're going to be successful in business. So what happens? They're not successful in business. And then you take another guy. He's stupid. He's just genuinely dumb, but he's confident. He believes in himself. Who do you think is going to see success in business? I'm willing to bet that the guy that's more confident and actually goes and does it is going to see more success in business than the guy that's unconfident, doesn't believe in himself, all of that. So what you need to take away from that is that your beliefs basically control like your life and all your actions, right? Like you need to program yourself to have good beliefs that line up with the goals and desires that you want if you want to be successful. So for trading, you need to actually believe you're a profitable trader and you need experiences that support that belief. You can't just say, I'm a profitable trader and then go over trade. That doesn't reinforce that positive belief, right? So that's what you need to do. Next, add beliefs in your model's consistency. If you don't believe in your model, you're not going to execute it properly and you're going to fuck it up. So what this means is like, I used to trade. This is the same model that I'm trading now. Sorry about that. Anyways, I was saying, add beliefs in your model's consistency. Okay. So yeah, if you don't believe in your model, you're not gonna execute it properly and you're gonna fuck it up. So I was about to say before this cut off is I used to like the same model I'm trading now. Back when I was like quote unquote unprofitable, I was like struggling to believe in my model's consistency. Like that like shiny object syndrome. Like you just kind of get sucked up into like thinking other things might work better or whatever, and you might go try those. Luckily, I didn't. I stuck to the same model since pretty much day one of learning it, and I just I slowly built up my belief in my model's consistency, and that like is what you need to really become profitable, I guess, right? Like you can't not believe in the thing that's going to make you money. You have to believe it's consistent. You like eat like on losing days, you can't like have self doubts. You can't doubt that you're like actually profitable or not. Like on some days when I take a losing day, like yeah, there's self doubts like and thoughts like that there, you know? Like sometimes I'll just think like, man, is this really gonna work? Stuff like that. But you really just have to convince yourself and just get over it and understand like, yes, my model is consistent. It's proven to be consistent. So I have to believe it is. Otherwise, I'm going to fail. And the next is you got to remove beliefs of not deserving to be profitable or deserving money. Whether this be like religious beliefs, I know a lot of people have problems with that, or like beliefs from your childhood, right? So, like, for instance, like God, He wants you to be abundant. He created all these things for us to live to the fullest and to use them to the most of our abilities, right? He wants us to have these desires for all these things so that we may enjoy them through Him as He also appreciates them. It's not sinful or bad to desire or want to attain wealth, money, or in abundance. The only way it's sinful or bad is if you desire and attain money in a way that affects other people and you prioritize the desire for wealth and money over God and you idolize money. So, what God says, He doesn't necessarily say that being abundant is bad. He says that you putting abundance and money and the desire for money over Him is bad. So, don't don't think that just because you want to be profitable and you're working towards being profitable, like don't doubt that you're not like following the way of God. Like you are. He wants you to have abundance, right? But you have to put Him first before everything. So you can't put the desire for money and the lust for money before Him. You have to put Him first, in everything. This is something I've recently been working with just because I've heard it from a bunch of other guys and I definitely believe it's true. And I know I need to get closer to Him. So that's what I'm working on right now because I don't want that belief of, religion and like having money is like, I don't want any sort of belief of God doesn't want you to have money because it's bad to be in my mind because it's not true. You can have money, you just need to use it in the right ways and not put it before Him. And the other kind of belief of not deserving to be profitable comes from like your childhood, right? So like your parents or anyone significant in your childhood might have molded your beliefs with things that they said in like such a way that created a belief that you don't deserve to make money or money is like unless it's from like a job, etc., right? Like a lot of times parents will like say like being rich is bad or stuff like that, right? Like they think the rich are evil. That's not true, but if they put that belief in your mind from a very young age, it can affect you in the future trying to become profitable in trading or whatever business endeavor you're in. So that's something that you're going to have to remove from your mind. And you do that by adding positive beliefs against that, right? Like, for instance, believe that making money on your own is good. It's like have that positive belief that making money on your own in your own way is good because you can provide for your family and improve their lives with that money. That's a positive belief. Believe in that, and it's going to remove the energy from the negative belief and transfer it over to the positive belief. Lastly, remove any self doubts, like I said, hesitations, or fear of loss in your model. So, through the back testing and learning you've done to refine your model, you should know that it is a consistent model and that hesitating on your entries, especially ones that you feel compelled to take, is only going to affect you negatively, right? So, you can't fear losing because it's going to happen. You can't expect to win, but you can't hesitate when your model presents itself and you can't doubt that your model like you can't doubt your model. So those are things you have to eliminate and replace them with positive beliefs, right? So believe in your model's consistency. Believe in your ability to recognize your model, so don't hesitate yourself. Believe in the fact that the market is a very probabilistic environment and that there are losses, right? Believe in your model statistic that your wins will outweigh your losses. You will have more wins than losses, stuff like that. Those are positive beliefs you can add that in turn are going to negate and remove the effects of your negative beliefs. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for today. So thank you guys. God bless.